What if the man of God is also abusing drugs? Oh no, he can't. Who told you he can't?
Injection.
At one time he wanted to overcome. But when he got to play a vulnerable card, he became a pulpit sermon.
Hello, dear viewers, and as you can see on today's episode from the title and the thumbnail, we're going to be looking at a very meaningful and deep topic that is often underlooked, and that topic is mental health. Especially in the African society. When we look in the African society, mental health is seen as maybe as some sort of maybe sickness or witchcraft, and in the African society, seen as something that doesn't exist and is not meant to exist, and especially on the side of men. And today, I'd like to introduce an interesting guest who's here to awaken mental health. And today, I'd like to invite Mr. Alex Mpata, and I'd like him to introduce himself, what he does, and yeah. So, Mr. Alex Mpata, you're kindly welcome to this podcast, and I'm sure we're going to have a great conversation today.
Yes, thank you so much, Elijah. It's to our dear viewers. It's good to be here and speaking to you. It's a privilege. I count it a grace of God, and I want to thank Elijah for inviting me to be a part of this. This is a great, awesome platform to be a part of. As you said, my name is Alex Mpata. I have a foundation called Psychic Foundation Uganda, which is a mental health foundation. And we focus at raising awareness about mental health well-being, but also fighting stigma through community empowerment. Yeah, so specifically what we do is to empower communities to see that they live mentally well, but also to support the people that have gotten the illness to recover through fighting stigma, but rather be supportive by giving them right psychosocial support. Yeah, so thank you.
So to kickstart off the conversation, I'd like to start off with a question. What is mental health?
Thank you very much. So I want to use what I would call layman's language for anyone who is out there to understand when we are talking about mental health. I don't want to go into the scientific, which makes it a little bit difficult, but I want anyone who is watching to just understand. So when we are talking about mental health, we are talking about your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. It is that part of you that you really do not see physically, but it is a part of you. That is your thoughts, your feelings, and emotions. You will understand that a human being is made up of three things. And that's what we call that you have a body, but in that body there is a soul, and in that body there is a spirit. So those three things make up who you are. You understand? I'll give you an example. When someone passes on or transitions into another world, which we call death, everything remains as it is. You see, they have a nose, they have eyes, they have everything is there, right? But there's something missing in them that gives life. Like that makes me speak. You do not see it with your eyes, but it is in there. That's why we say that the spirit, his soul has left the body. You understand? So it becomes difficult. Sometimes people don't want to acknowledge this truth, but it is the truth. So it is that bit of you inside you, that soul, that bit of you that has the mental well-being. You understand? So mental health, it's that part of you that we're speaking about. Your emotions, we're speaking about your feelings, we are speaking about your mind.
So why do you think mental health is a big challenge in the African society especially?
First and foremost, I don't think that it's really a big challenge, but what the African society has failed, it has refused to embrace the understanding or the knowledge that of these mental health challenges or there's mental health. Because mental health itself is not a problem. The problem is mental illness. You understand? So when someone says, I'm speaking about mental health, I'm talking about just your body. It's the worst. I'm speaking about your hands. I'm speaking about your ears. When a medic comes, there's a specialty of your teeth, the dentist. There's a specialty of your eyes, the optician. You understand? There is a specialty in everything, but all these things have a particular. They make up your body. They make up your body. So you can see a general doctor, but if a general doctor sees that there's something so specific that he or she cannot address, they will send you to a specialized section of someone or to someone who has majored in that particular thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So in mental health, when we are saying mental health, it's your emotions, it's your feelings, it's your thoughts, it's your inner being. You understand? When the challenge comes in, it's when your mental health is attacked.
Yeah.
When your body gets disease, when malaria attacks your body, when tuberculosis attacks your body, when headaches attacks your body, you understand? Then we shall say you are sick. There is disease. You understand? So when something affects or attacks your mental well-being, then we have a mental illness.
Yeah.
You understand? So the question, going back to your point, I just wanted to lay that foundation.
Yeah.
But getting back to your point, that mental health has always been in Africa from time memorial.
Yeah. Very true.
We just didn't understand a better way of addressing it. But what we are seeing today, we have just had platform to show us what is already existing, but we didn't know that you had that problem, or we didn't know that that was showing. From time memorial, people were running mad in Africa. Mental illnesses were there.
Yeah.
People were walking naked.
Yeah.
From time memorial.
Yeah.
You understand? From time memorial, people were depressed. They just didn't know what kind of a thing it is.
Yeah.
What the world today is doing, it's just giving us names. It's adding names to what is existing. And it is in that particular perspective that in the African context, we have failed to embrace the fact that this has been there and now this is the name. You understand? When HIV had just come here, I'll give the specifications of Uganda. A number of people looked at HIV as witchcraft.
Yeah.
Studied the history of HIV in our country. Until this current government, His Excellency, the president of this country, got to know. I think I was watching something by Dr. Wandera Specioza Kazugwe, the former vice president. And she was one of the specific people the president sends out into a particular country to go and study more about HIV. She comes back and tells him, sir, this is not witchcraft.
Yeah.
People are sick, it is a sickness. So they had to awaken up people to an understanding that this is now a disease. Stop going to witch doctors to extort money out of you. You need medication. It is the same issue we are having with mental illnesses.
Yeah.
It is a knowledge gap.
Yeah.
It's what I can say. It's the knowledge gap.
Yeah.
The African problem, it's a knowledge gap about mental well-being, the knowledge gap about mental illness.
Yeah. And one thing I've seen about Africa, because as the viewers know, well, majority of them, the new ones are now hearing for the first time. I was born in the UK, born and raised, and there it's more embraced and more understood than Africa. Now, let me give you an example. Moving to Uganda, I believe every human has mental health challenges. No one is immune to mental health challenges. Every single person has a mental health challenge, and it's just about how they deal with it. And I remember a time where I shared something, and I said, I feel in this time I'm having a bit of mental challenge, and I need to speak, and I need this type of support. And I remember the people I was speaking to, they chuckled, they laughed, and they didn't take it serious. I don't know if it's because it's a challenge because I was a man, and if it's a woman, the women are more catered for, or if it's like the man is meant to find, because as men we're seen as solution finders. And I wasn't sure if it's because I'm meant to figure it out myself as a man, or it's okay to ask for help. And I would like for you to expound on that as a mental health specialist, because I'm sure there's many people who been through the same thing as me. And I'm not going to lie to you and say I've overcome it. I'm still trying to deal with it. But then you find ways of trying to channel it out, because I do feel like a problem with the mind can always help when you have a community.
The last statement you made about community,
Yeah.
but just to pick up from what you've said. So I would want to talk about the perspective of our culture as Africans, and in this particular segment, I'll speak about the Ugandan context.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the Ugandan context, I'll speak about my culture. I'm a Msoga man, like I come from Busoga, and this is what we believe in. You
Yeah.
understand? I don't want to judge people, but
Yeah.
let me speak from my personal experience and growing up in this kind of a land.
Yeah.
You understand? So you said something very fundamental, that you have been going through this kind of stuff as a man, but you tell someone, I need someone to speak to,
Yeah.
and someone laughs. Like, dude, guy,
Yeah.
man up. I think that
Yeah.
is the statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man up.
Yeah.
Like, deal with your issues. You understand? But what do you mean, man up, deal with your issues?
Exactly.
Because we are in a society, in the African tradition, where we are taught that a man is a solution giver. You understand? You know kuba musajja, for my English people, like, you have to be a man. It's you understand? Like, you have to be a man. The masculinity in you has to show up. So often we are fighting in showing our masculinity to society at all expense. Least I am judged that I'm not a man. You understand?
Yeah.
So even when I am dying inside and there's something I'm experiencing and I feel like I need to talk about it, you see someone has lost a loved one and it's really eating them, but they cannot even let the tears come out of their eyes because, you know what? A man does not cry. Where did we get these synchronicities from? Where did we get this understanding? Who taught us that way? The society in Africa taught us that being a man is taking up things. You understand? It's me. Bring it on.
Yeah.
You understand? But we have reached a level where we cannot take it on anymore.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait a minute, guys, I can't take it anymore. And when you said you can't take it anymore, you were perceived weak. You understand? So it is a society we are in. Back there in Europe, where you had experiences of growing up in America and kind of stuff, and what, because of revolutionarism, development, and that kind of stuff, they kind of go ahead of us a little bit in some way or the other. You understand? We are lagged behind as Africans, and this is a perspective we need to change in a lot of things, not only in mental health, even when it comes to our education system, even when it comes to the way we do business. We take things so slow. I'm not against my culture. I respect my Chisoga culture as a Msoga man. By the way, I put a lot of attachment to it. But there are certain adjustments we need to do to fit into what is existing now.
Yeah.
There is a saying that you cannot resist change. Otherwise, change will change you. So, the way our African way of looking at things has to adjust. I'm not saying change, but we have to adjust to embrace things like, even if Elijah said that he's saying that I'm not feeling well. I want to ask a second question. What do you mean you're not feeling well? What is it? Talk to me, bro. What's up? I may not be so calm and what, but let it be even be joke. I'm like, man, what's up? You just mentioned you're not feeling well. Take the initiative of trying to do, man, I'm a man. I'll be a man. I'll go. Bro, tell me, what do you mean you're a man? You go through it. Like, provide room for trying to listen. Provide room for asking the untold story behind I'm not okay. So if we change these kind of perspectives, when we talk about parenting, you think that is about bringing food at home, and he has paid the DSTV, he has paid the internet. Man, I'm a man enough. What haven't I done for my kids? No. You understand? Your kid comes to you and they say, Daddy, I don't feel okay. Don't say go to your mother and tell her. As a father, have you asked, okay, what do you mean you're not feeling okay, Elijah? Is there anything I need to know? I normally say, pay attention to detail. Yeah, so it is that entire culture thing that we need to change our minds. And I'm glad it's with such platforms, things are going to change. I want to speak to the parent out there. I want to speak to someone out there. Listen.
Yeah.
You understand? Listen. You lose nothing to listen to someone. It doesn't make you a boss in an organization, but because you were raised with this authoritative way of doing things, you want to be authoritative even on people.
Yeah.
You don't listen to your subordinates. You understand? You are killing people mentally. But even you yourself, you know in your head that something is wrong.
Yeah.
You feel like people hate you. You feel like people come and they feel uneasy when you are around. It is affecting you mentally. Your children reach home, you reach home and your children are running away because you think, we grew up when daddy comes back, everyone has to take their corner. Really? What kind of parenting was this? You understand? So I hope I'm getting to what you are asking me.
Yeah.
It is a bigger thing. It's a bigger thing that we need to address. It's a bigger thing we need to address. We need to respect and uphold our values and culture as Africans with adjustments that are needed to fit the existing world. Otherwise, we are going to fight, and the more we fight, is the more we get mentally disturbed, is the more we keep denying ourselves. But at the end of the day, we are going to end up into these rehabs. We are going to end up with more broken marriages. We are going to end up with more broken families. Because what? We are rigid. Rigidity is not a solution. Be open-minded. Try to understand to detail. And after you've understood, make a decision. Make a decision. Understand and make a decision. Don't act out of emotions. Don't act out of emotions. Breathe in, breathe out. Go to bed, sleep. Think about it tomorrow. Let's work again tomorrow. You are not God. You're not the one going to you're not a fixer. Something that thing is going to let you into something else. So it's an African thing that we need to change, and we need to allow. And when we tell people that we need to adjust, they think we want to make the culture, our values erode. No, we are not against our cultures. They are very valuable. We love them. But the more we have kept them and tried not to adjust, what have we gained? We've lost them all.
Exactly.
What have we gained? Let statistics come out. What have we gained? Yeah.
So what would you advise? I'm going to give you a scenario that I've personally been through, and many all these viewers who I feel like can discern have been through. Now, for example, let's say, for me, I've been in situations where you can clearly see the people close to you are having mental challenges. And because maybe you look at that person as a person who's strong and they want to appear that way to you, but you can clearly see they're fighting something. And you don't know how to come and address it. And usually we like to give a cliche response of pray for that person. But when you can simply sit down with that person and talk and say, I feel like this is happening, you're going through something. And in everything, communication is key. Communication kills a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's why the suicide rates are high. Because someone battling with mental health or battling with power of killing themselves and staying alive, it just takes one conversation to change that.
True.
And for me, I've found myself battling with how to approach that person, how to approach a person going through that, maybe the people around you, and tell them, I feel like you're going through this. I'm giving you room to share and to be open. And I would like you to help us, me personally, and also the viewers. How can we be better to support friends, family, who go through such things, and you can vividly see it, but they're trying to hide it from you?
I'm going to answer it in a way that I would be giving something like an example, kind of personal experience from my my perspective. In 2015, I lost my dad to cancer. May he so rest in peace. And the journey of treating my dad, it was about 4 to 5 years from the time we got to discover that he had cancer, diagnosed, that kind of stuff. But the entire process of treating someone with cancer is so traumatizing, especially here in Uganda, with the expenses that come with it, and also the palliative care you need to give, and with this knowledge of someone is going to die. The moment that you go to hospital and they tell you you have cancer, the first thing that dawns on you, you already picture yourself in the casket. You're like, oh, I'm gone. Fast forward 2015, my father passes, and I think that entire year, my mother is a very strong woman, very strong. I know her for that. Very strong, very strong. But in her being strong, she was broken for losing her husband. She loses her husband, but entire time of the funeral, the rites, that kind of stuff, she's okay. She's strong, mom. You understand? Like, yeah, guys, we need to move on. Dada's going to be the Lord. Okay, blah, blah, blah. But in my head, I'm trying to watch this woman. I'm like, wait a minute. I am trying to watch this woman. Why isn't she mourning, breaking? But I know a character of a go-getter of being that. But all my siblings were not saying anything. The relatives are, no. Strong woman, she'll go through it. That one, we know her. So everyone is around, we know her. But a year goes down, we get into a second year after my dad is passing, and I started noticing a change in pattern of certain things concerning her that I knew deeply as a son. There are certain things she loved, and she had lost love for them. There are certain things, let me give you an example. My mother is a farmer. She loves cows. Growing up, for me, if my mother's cow got sick, my mother would not go to bed. She would sleep at the couch next to the kraal, where our cow is. That was my mother. You would wake up in the morning and say, my cow is not okay. I'm like, Mom, you love these cows. A time came and this cow started getting sick and dying. And my mom started saying, let it be slaughtered. I'm like, you get that pattern? I'm like, no, that is not you, Mom. That is in my head. I tell my siblings, I'm like, guys, Mommy is not okay. And everyone is like, what do you mean? She's walking, she's doing what? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no one is understanding me. I am trying to alarm to them. I'm like, you guys, Mom is not okay. But to them, because she laughs, because she walks, because, long story short, she lost a lot of property. Conmen came in, people took advantage of her, she lost property, she lost her businesses, she started going down the drain. My siblings wake up when everything is coming to zero. They're like, wait a minute. You used to say something. I'm like, guys, I notified you earlier at the beginning. I told you. I just saw it in her. So, but sometimes we are held up in the point of how to express to our loved ones, or the people we are close to show them there is a problem, and them to understand, and them judging us because they think they know us. Being a psychologist I am, it was difficult. In psychology, we cannot diagnose our own people. I cannot start putting my mom to therapy. I am going to be biased. She's my mother. Ethically, it's not allowed. Yeah. you understand? Yeah. So I now these guys wake up. We start looking for a rehab, where to put. I'm like, I'm taking my mother to a rehab. It has been a longer journey. Today we are in 2026. But to get my mom back where she is today, bro, friend, a lot of money, a lot of emotions, a lot of loss. So whenever I see a widow, I normally talk to my friends. If a friend of mine loses a parent, especially if they lost a father, and I go and see them, even I get so worried about their mother. Because I know what my mother went through. And I normally get closer to my friends and I'm like, watch out for your mother. Because I know they are vultures out there waiting for her. I keep asking my friend, is your mother okay? If all my friends who have lost their parents, especially their fathers, could get to hear me, I always ask, how is your mother? I get some of them say, like, Alex, you keep asking about my mother because I know what my mother went through. And I never want any other person's mother to go through it.
Yeah.
Yes, that depression that made her lose. And it is worse for strong people because they never show. So how do we approach? Sometimes you need to find another person who that person can really listen to, who they are friends with. Sometimes these people we love, they're even not our friends. I tell people, it is different for you to be my brother, but it's also different to be my brother and my friend.
Very true.
Blood can put us together, but you're not my friend.
Yeah.
You can't be my mother and you're not my friend.
Yeah.
Being my mother, raising me and doing thank you, but you're not my friend. You're my dad, but you're not my friend. That is a conversation of another day because it also affects our mental health somehow. Cultivating a friendship with your children, cultivating a friendship with your brother,
Yeah.
because if I started talking about that, that would take us another podcast. It is something, if you would not somewhere, we would talk about. Because I've ever gone through the stress of trying to befriend my own siblings. Where even you give a call to your sibling and they think you're after something, especially when you are the younger one. Someone picks and says like, do you need money? I don't need money. I'm just saying, hello, are you okay? And someone gets off and is like, why is he asking if I'm okay? Because you have grown up in a point where manipulation is the order of the day. So our people around us have been manipulated so much that even when you mean good, they think you mean bad. So it is difficult, but you need to pray and also ask God to give you the grace
Yeah.
to approach certain things. You understand?
Yeah.
Then you talked about something like, you tell someone this and it's like, we will pray about it. What is that thing of we will pray about it? And by the way, a number of people say we pray about it, they never pray.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we go, did you really go down on your knees and pray about it? Specifically, mentioned Alex Impata that you're praying for me. You're lying.
Yeah.
You
big
didn't.
lie. Very big lie.
You didn't. You didn't. You did you? But it's a comforting statement we use. We will pray about it. Liar. You are not going to pray about it.
Yeah.
The Bible is clear. Who of you goes to, who says to a person that person comes to you, I'm paraphrasing, that they do not have cloth, and they say, you pray about it, or they do not have food, and they say, we'll pray about it. The Bible says, get the cloth and give them. The Bible says, get the food and give them. You understand? Stop pretending. You guys are lying. And when it comes to the church and we will pray about it, oh, that is a segment of another day. Toji nyongera, like, do not add it to me anymore. With these segments of we will pray about it and what?
And do you know what the most challenging thing is about that? When someone says we'll pray about it or we'll pray for you or do this, they know they can help you. But I feel like it's a stubborn way, but it's a hidden way of being stubborn, but not revealing that they're being stubborn, saying that they're going to pray for you. But you're not asking them to pray for you, you're asking for them, maybe for a voice, for someone to sit with you and comfort you. But they know what you want. And in other words, they'll be like, we'll pray about it, we'll pray for you. And what leads people to acting like that?
I think people act that way because we are in a society, especially people who are older or who are in a particular position, to always want to show that they know everything.
Very true. Oh my gosh.
We are in a, it goes back to what we talked earlier. I'm a man. I'm a provider. We do not know how to say, that one I don't know. We do not know how to surrender. Ego. When it comes to our pastors and what, there are things in a realm of when you do not know. You do not know. Tell someone, I can't help on that, but I can refer you to someone else who may have a knowledge about it. There is that serenity prayer. Teach me to accept the things I cannot do and the things I can do. Honestly, you are the man of God or woman of God. I have come to you with an addiction I'm struggling with. I am abusing drugs. You understand? And I am struggling. But because I know you as my man of God or woman of God, I hold you with a lot of esteem up there, knowing that you are the man of God or woman of God, closer to God, the Holy Ghost. You're living up there. These are small things to you. You may be shocked that the man of God is also abusing drugs. Yeah, that hits hard.
One thing I realized you had touched on, vulnerability. When you become vulnerable in front of someone, I feel like there's a reason that person has trusted you with a vulnerability. And we have normalized the act of redirecting that person to someone else. But vulnerability is expensive and you can't offer it to anyone. And I'd like us to affirm on that and expound on that. That if someone becomes vulnerable in front of you, I believe God trusted that person with their two eyes to see why that person is becoming vulnerable in front of them and equip them to help that person. And I feel like we need to rebuke that redirection, because then you end up closing someone up and making them struggle alone. And I'd like you to share on that, because I don't know if you've had any experiences like that, being a psychologist and mentoring and helping people going through challenges. Yeah.
So when it comes to, again, just from the beginning, we are talking about our African context and mental health well-being.
Yeah.
You understand? And all these things are within our society.
Yeah.
So when it comes to vulnerability, in Africa, especially when it comes to men, being vulnerable is looked at as a weakness.
Yeah.
How do you open up? You understand?
Yeah.
You want to show people that you're weak. You want to show people that you can't.
Yeah.
So vulnerability is seen as a weakness in our society, especially for a man. And because it is seen like that for a man, a number of men have not opened up or have refused to be vulnerable about certain things, even when they are going through abuse. Women abuse men.
100%.
So much, by the way.
Yeah.
But our society tells us, you're a man. You can't say that a woman did beat you. You can't say that they denied you sex in a marriage. You get? You can't say that she told you to wash utensils. You get her? Because there are certain, how did you wash utensils? What's wrong with the man washing utensils? But you get her? It makes you feel like you're vulnerable. So while vulnerability has played men a disadvantage and tortured them mentally, the women have played that card to even abuse us, men the more. Because when a woman is vulnerable and she even starts crying, she can even tear her clothes and say, "Oh, he's tried to rape me." Everyone is going to believe her.
Yeah.
Because she's playing the vulnerability card. The society shows, no, she's weak. No woman can just accuse you without. My friend, you've not met wicked people. People are wicked.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
People are wicked. So, women have played the card to take advantage of themselves.
Yeah.
The men have played the card to stay strong and they have died within because they don't want to be vulnerable. So, as we open up also from the man's perspective to be vulnerable, who are you being vulnerable to?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have also opened up, even some
Sure,
women are genuinely vulnerable and they're opening up about something, but the ones we have disclosed to, they have instead abused us the more.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
I come and tell you what I'm struggling with, and you take advantage of my weakness, and you know my weaker point. You know my weaker point. You know when you open that can of worms, I cannot hold myself anymore together. You know that I'm struggling with alcohol, but because you want to sleep with me, you bring a bottle in our conversation. You're like, bro, let's just have some drink, so that I can drink and get into a state where I will accept anything you do with me. You see how someone is taking advantage of you?
Yeah.
So who are you? We have had men or women of God, people in the church abuse people, where they went to counseling. In the same rooms they went for counseling. The same people admired them. The same people wanted us. The same people decided to do something with us. And what happened? People closed their door. And they have died within. They're like, I'd rather stay with this. Don't tell me about this church. Don't tell me about this therapy center. Don't tell me about ABCD. Because even where we went to run to seek help, they still took advantage of us.
Yeah.
So who are you being vulnerable to is also important. You understand? You can have a friend who can abuse you. Good friend, by the way.
Yeah.
But they wanted you all along, but they didn't tell you. As you're expressing your vulnerability to them, they're like, oh, thank God, now I have an entry point. You're being vulnerable to them. So, as we encourage people to open up and also seek help, you need to be mindful of how and from whom you seek help.
Yeah.
Lest it breaks you the more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there are people who will go and make you. I remember one time, in my, I'll give this example. I remember one time I am with this young man, and he's going through something, and we are in a church. Church setting is serving God, but he's struggling with something. It's eating him up.
Yeah.
It's affecting him mentally, and he's like, "Let me open up to this pastor,
Yeah.
talk about it. Maybe it will relieve me. Maybe we will pray about it and find ways of overcoming."
Amen.
The young man opens up to the pastor. Guess what? The next Sunday in the sermon is the example for the pastor in the sermon. We sit back in the congregation and the guy is like, wow. The pastor comes and is like, some of you are here. You're here seated, but you're doing A, B, C, D. It does not mention his name, but it was clear that he's driving the example, the exact thing he did tell to this pastor. Do you think it would encourage another person to come and tell you? Why would you give my situation as an example in your sermon without my permission or consent?
Yeah.
Actually, I've not even healed. You're already using me as an example.
Sure.
You understand? That vulnerability, that makes someone... actually, that guy left church. As I speak up today, he says, I will never come back to church. He left the church. He doesn't. He left the church and he decided to live in that addiction and he made it a lifestyle. At one time, he wanted to overcome. But when he got to play a vulnerable card, he became a pulpit sermon. Please, Basumba, men of God, women of God, look for the right sermons. The Bible is so big. Anyway, back to you. That's for another day.
You touched on it,
Yeah.
and you said emotional abuse. I feel like physical abuse is bad, yes, but if I get a cut on my arm, I just put a plaster on it.
Yeah.
Within a few days it will go. But I feel like emotional abuse is deeper and very underlooked. And you, as you said, it's the people closest to you. It could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your dad. Could emotionally abuse you. They do things, they say things. They act in ways where they know they're hurting you. But there's no inner plaster. You can't get a plaster out of a first aid kit and say, I'm going to plaster what's inside. Because someone can live with something until the day they go. I want you to awaken on that, because I feel like there's so much you can share on it. And we look at, as you said, talking about the church. And we always, in church, we're screaming, we want to stamp the devil out, we want to do this. But the devil uses the same people in the church to attack. And same people in church are the same people claiming they serve God. So I want you to share your heart. Feel free and go ahead.
So, I don't want to feel like I'm attacking the church because I'm personally a Christian, a devoted Christian. And I think some of the things I've gone through in life and why I've survived is because of the church. And I credit it so much. in as much there are gaps
Oh, yeah.
that need to be
Addressed.
But I think that is a segment we would touch one of those days here to just talk about mental health and the church. But I'll just take a small hint, because coming back about the emotional abuse you're talking about and getting back to our mental health and African context, whereby in our African context, especially I'll speak of the Ugandan context and the man I am in my culture, we really look at the physical so much. People do not know how to get into the inner being. We do not really know about emotions. It's not an African thing. We are just coming to learn.
Yeah.
But emotional abuse, in most cases, is done by people who are close to us. Because before I get emotionally attached to you, you need to be in a particular circle of my life. I cannot get emotionally attached to any acquaintance I have just met, to a border man, to someone I just met by the roadside.
Yeah.
We first have to build a relationship of friendship. From friendship, that's when we get into emotional. You understand? So you'll find that emotional abuse is happening to people who are in relationships, who are in a marriage, who are in a family setting, because somehow we are bound to be close. You understand? But at the same time, the people who abuse us emotionally, or emotional abuse where it happens, they are people who we trust most. That even if we came out to break the silence about their abuse, no one is going to believe us that we are saying that they are doing that. Because we are going to look ridiculous, or really, you are ungrateful. Are you the one saying that? That your father is not emotionally present after paying your school fees, giving you shelter, clothing you? You're so ungrateful. So I am shut down because someone was meeting their responsibility as a parent. And I cannot express myself. Because a man was meeting his responsibility as a husband of taking care of a home, of paying rent, of paying school fees. But as a wife, I'm being abused emotionally by his absentia, by him speaking to me in an inappropriate manner, by him insulting me in the name of I am doing my best as a man. I'm a husband. I'm not a perfect husband. And all the things I'm saying, I'm a work in progress. The challenge is if we do not talk about them so that we all learn how to work on ourselves, it doesn't mean that I am the best emotional person, or like I know how to handle people. Please don't send me your people. Can't express yourself to Alex. You'll be shocked. I'm also a work in progress.
Yeah.
You understand? You understand?
Yeah.
But what I'm laying a foundation of a discussion.
Yeah.
Of let's talk about it. Because as Africans, we are not taught how to express our feelings.
Yeah.
Because your child goes to school and they have nicknamed him or her a particular name because he or she is short and fat and they are calling her dwarf. And everyone is like, dwarf, come. And he or she has allowed that name to go on. But you are deforming somebody's personality. You're emotionally abusing that child. That is name calling. But they're taking it as a joke. They laugh about it. But he or she is growing, thinking I'm a dwarf and I'm ugly and I'm not beautiful. Another man is going to come and sleep on your daughter. And she feels like even if he slept on me, he's doing me a good service. Otherwise, I'm short, I'm dwarf, I'm not beautiful. It's just helping me. Wow. Some kid in school started calling that name calling. That was bullying. You understand? The personality is being deformed. The tongue is strong. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so he is. As the Bible says, speak something and it shall be established. Actually, that's the right scripture. So that means when you speak something into someone and they continue, that's why you see we have issues without what names we name our children.
Yeah.
You have called your name, your son Lubari, some small god in Luganda. Every time you're calling Lubale, come, Lubale, come, Lubale, do this. Lubale. It's the earth is listening.
Yeah.
The earth is responding. The forces that govern the earth are responding to the Lubale, and indeed Lubale is going to be Lubale. For anyone called Lubale, I'm not against you. Disclaimer, I'm just giving an example. I don't want people to feel attacked. Omwami you're talking about our names, our Tiganda names, amanyeni nono zaffe, for Abaganda. No, I'm not attacking. I'm just giving that as an example. You get? You get? So, it is an African thing that we need to change. Because it affects our mind. Let me tell you, everything that you are seeing on earth, that we are operating, that you will ever do, even us being on this podcast today, you thought about it.
Yeah.
You to watch today, you thought about it.
Yeah.
You to listen now, you've thought about it.
Yeah.
Your next move, you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Where I'm going after here, I've thought about it.
Yeah.
So if this mind is not in the right state, our actions are going to tell. We are a result of our thoughts.
True.
So if our mental faculty is not handled well and trained to give the right results that are desired in the communities we are going to give the undesired results. Because at the end of the day, if you like it or you don't like it, you have to think. You will only stop thinking when you're dead. So mental health is here for life.
Yeah.
People think it is a season. It's not a season. People think it's just a season. Now everyone is talking about mental health. No, it is just now the awareness is coming out.
Yeah.
It thing has been there. So long as you have a brain, you're going to think.
Yeah.
Your mental faculty is going to work.
Yeah.
I hope I'm answering you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, there's a lot.
Yeah. And when I asked you the question, there's a point you went on. Women are often seen as the weaker vessel. And I believe, I'm not going to say all, but I believe in some way women become manipulative. And they become manipulative in a natural sense. And their manipulation comes in a way where if you question it, they can override your question and make you feel like you're wrong and you're judging them. And as you said, you gave an example of a woman can deny a husband sex. And we find that often these things are happening. They're very boldly happening. I believe each one of us has had experiences of going through such things, whether it be mothers, sisters, friends, girlfriends, wives. And women know what they're doing, and in their doing so, they know that men are going to keep quiet. Because how does a man go and complain to other people saying, this woman has done this? Because even if they come to start sitting you down, the woman can play victim.
Yeah.
And you, as a man, you automatically look guilty. And I want you to stand up for a man and speak on behalf of a man.
You made a statement, maybe I also want to just that women are weaker vessel. Yes and no, because women of nowadays, some of them are something else. So I just wanted to hit that weaker vessel, that is subjective. But I'll say this. You do not know how many men are in prison for crimes they never committed against women. I'll say that again. You do not know how many men are in Ruzira, are in Chitalia, are in all these prisons of ours in Uganda for crimes they never committed against that woman. But they are there serving sentence. I am not here to say that men don't abuse women. Of course we have those crooks in our society.
Yes.
Of course we have those people who are doing those funny things. But we are also having those who are innocent. But the woman has played a card. Let me tell you, if you found a wicked woman, she can mean to be wicked. When women do something, they do it fully with their hearts. If she chooses to be wicked, she can go to an extreme. If she chooses to love you and be nice, she would go to an extreme. So choose the part where she goes. So we need to learn to listen beyond the voices, beyond their talk. That's why when you are talking to some of us who have been in this field or who are in this field, we pay attention to detail, to body expression, to the tone, to where were you, to what happened, to why is that finger moving, to why is he or she sitting in that kind of a posture. And people think we are ridiculous. No, we are trying to rule out all other factors that may lead someone into something which is not true. So, a lot of men, as parents, I'm a father of boys. Of course, girls are coming. But like for now, I am blessed with 2 handsome boys. But as parents, we need to teach our children as early enough, especially the boys, to express themselves, to speak out. You understand?
Yeah.
You need to teach your child something like, this is your private part. These are your private parts. If someone touches them, let me know.
Yeah.
You understand? We need to teach people how to express themselves. We need to let men be allowed to speak. As a man, you speaking out does not make you weaker. It does not make your manhood drop off. You don't put on a skirt the following day because you said, you know what, my wife is doing ABCD or my girlfriend is doing ABCD. It does not. This card has been played by women. And for the good, but some have taken it for the bad. You understand? Back then, in the earlier years, talk about Hitler's times and what, women were not recognized. That's why you see we have women is there, women is what, women is what. And what was that was wrong. But now, women have come out, they have been given a platform, but the balance is failing. They are going overboard. And what seemed to be good is turning to be evil. What seemed to elevate them, they are manipulating it. What seemed to give them a voice has become noise. What meant to show them that they are important has become manipulation. It has become abuse at the expense of the men. We need to strike a balance. We are all important in society. Because back then the balance wasn't there for the women.
Yeah.
And every energy was focused on bring the women to the balance. The balance came. We reached. Now they have passed the balance. Now we are going back in. The seesaw is.
Seesawing.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need to balance. Too much of something is bad.
100%.
Too much of whatsoever women emancipation. I'm not against. I know now women people the comment section. You are attacking us. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. We are not attacking you. I am not attacking anybody. I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
We need the
Balance.
Thank you.
Wow. 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 You've given us a lot of knowledge.
Thank you.
And men are fighting silent, a lot of men are fighting silent battles. And I want you to talk about all types of mental health, to break it down. And then the view will expand on it more in another episode. But I'd like you to touch on different types of mental health, like mental health in marriage, mental health in friendships, mental health between parenting, and all sorts, and give your closing remarks to the viewers.
Thank you. Wow, that's quite big. Like I said earlier,
Yeah.
that everything begins and starts in the mind.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about mental health, we're talking about the brain. We're talking about thoughts.
Yeah.
We're talking about soul. So there is nothing in this world you'll ever do without thinking. So we cannot do away with mental health. We will never have a solution like we found a cure to HIV. We found a cure. We are not going to vaccinate our children against mental illness. You get us? There's no vaccine on that.
Yeah.
Because mental health challenges are environmental related.
Yeah.
They come out of behavior, they come out of culture, they come out of things surrounding us. You get what I say? Where I cannot immunize behavior.
Yeah.
There is no virus moving for mental health. When we are diagnosing someone, we sit down. We have tools we use, that kind of stuff, before we make a diagnosis. We don't take okay, at some point we can take blood samples and what, but at particular levels. But the basis, the primary thing, the start, the genesis of us, it's more of an interaction.
Yeah.
But it affects every area of our lives. If we came to talk about mental health and marriage, that would be a segment.
Yeah.
If we come to talk about mental health and raising children, it's another episode.
Segment. Yeah.
If we came to talk about mental health and the education system in Uganda, if we came to talk about mental health and maternity issues, giving birth,
Yeah.
mothers and mental health, just being a mother, that entire cycle of transition, you can understand. So, behavior in your class, because you think it's about teaching. So those are some of the things we are doing in schools. But we are also in communities working with people who are mentally ill to see that we have what we call ambassadors, champions, mental health champions. These are people who have been on mental health medication. Some of them they have overcome, they're no longer taking the medication, but they have become advocates in the community. We also have those who are still on their medication, but they also become advocates. They clearly come out to speak about their mental illness, what went wrong, and they also encourage other people to come out
Yeah.
so that they may seek help.
Yeah.
So that's what we are doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to thank you for your time, Mr. Alex Mpata. And to the dear viewers, my closing remarks would be, if you're a woman out there, and we'll touch on this in the next episode, women are nurturers, women are comforters, and someone trusts you to be vulnerable with what they're going through, especially if it's a man, please embrace that man or a young man or a boy, whatever he is. Help them, support them, and don't let the worldly things take a toll on you where you see that it's right to take an advantage. And as you've potentially heard, we'll be having Mr. Alex here next month, and we'll touch on a different topic of mental health and look at it in a deeper perspective. This video was just an introduction, and I'd like to appreciate Mr. Alex for giving us an opportunity to break it down to us on a monthly basis. So if you haven't already, kindly subscribe, like the video, and if you have any questions that you'd like Mr. Alex to answer next month, ask them. Until the next video, see you.